Hello everyone, this is Espert. I am here with March's art prompt. It's a bit late, very late, honest. Well, not late, not in the terms of in sets, since we do sets of 4. It just feels like it's being late, but it's not. It will come up right on time. But yeah, art prompt for this one, for this speed art, was to make a large animal small. And so, with that in mind, I didn't want to go with just like a regular animal you see every day, like a caterpillar or a beetle or anything along that line. I looked up different more exotic animals. And I was given the suggestion of an elephant shrew by Wonderful Google, and that's what I decided to go with. I kind of looked at some water animals at first, but I decided to go with this little adorable little thing. It kind of reminds me a little bit like a hamster or a gerbil, but with a long snout. It is found in the desert. So, but it took quite a bit to figure out how I was going to draw this thing. It took several attempts. Some of them looked quite terrifying, but I like this attempt at this little guy. I am getting all the outlines done at the moment. I'm putting my other character on top because I did not draw them together. I drew one and then the other. Maybe I should have drawn them together, but I'm trying to figure out one at a time. Figure out its weird little chicken feet here, which it does not have. That's just how I made it, and I wouldn't say that's not accurate to how the animal actually looks, but that's what we have here. That's what I went with for this drawing. Here, getting the little saddle made. I had to actually look up how it would lay on a small creature. You can actually find reference images of saddles for like mice. It was so funny. But I think it was for like a movie prop type thing. I don't, or CGI. It was an actual like model of some sort, not just like CGI or anything like that, but yes, it was fun. It was fun to look this up. The only thing I say was super difficult, besides just trying to get the initial drawing down of it, is deciding what to go with. It's just such an open topic. So many things you can go with. So with the top of this, I'm not too worried about correctness of lines overlapping because my girl's gonna sit there. Deciding she needs shrunk down a little bit to fit better. So yeah, it looks like I have a freeze moment here. It's taking a moment. There we go. Okay, I must have had something I was doing. Cleaning up all the lines I don't need. Figure out what size lines I need. I like this design of this character. I looked up a bunch of references of like traveling in the desert and different clothing and all this, and it was a chore to it was quite a chore and responsibility to figure out there which way I should take it. You can get ones that's like all heavily dressed up, like everything covered, and then you just have clothes. Then you get some more like traditional kind of cultural type stuff, and I will not say this is supposed to look cultural accurate to anything, but this was similar style to a few things I was seeing, so I liked the idea, and you get to see a little bit more of the character with it, have a little bit more fun with the lines and the layers. Get a little pouch here. Down here to her leg, and I will say I've never tried any sort of outfit like this before, so it was the first time for me on this, and it was fun. It was very different. Doing her shoe that has no toes in it. Just kind of small and kind of cutesy. Now, well, looks like I was going to... Nope, I'm selecting colors. I had some parts where it was extremely frustrating. I would color something and I'd have issues with another spot. It was just, I had a lot of like program issues. So there'll be times where I get stuff colored up and everything kind of messes up for me. I can't remember. We'll get to it. I know we will. I think the screen rotates or something, like my canvas. And it was so late at night that I just like, okay, I'm done with this. And I just closed out and lost some of my progress, which was not a smart idea on my part. But I was so frustrated with it at this point when I get to there. And then there's a different day when I'm working on the girl that I get so frustrated. Nothing's going to work out quite right. I'm like, hey, I need a little darker here, because their feet are two-toned. Get some of this bridal. I'm like, oh, I'll try this out. Selecting anything black on these characters was difficult because all the lines would get selected, so it was hard to do anything in the black at all, so it was difficult. Let's see here. Get that colored. Getting all the little buckles and straps and loops. Alright, here I'm getting into girl. Her hair was a mess to try to do, honestly. Once we get to that part, it was just a fight after a fight to do the hair, because her hair was going to be dark, but even though I had it as an off black, like black brown, it still kept registering it as part of the lines, and I couldn't just select her hair without it getting all the lines, and it was just trouble. So that's part of the thing you'll see. So she's got like a little like sheer overpants, I want to say, over her skirt pant thing. I don't know exactly. So I was trying to make everything slightly different tone there. Oh, getting her jewelry and stuff. It's over. So now I think about it, some of those yellows would probably be a different color with her. But color her bag up. And as always, all those white lines and such. Oh, here's the hair. All the white lines will be cleaned up. That's something else that caused me a lot of trouble, because my usual way is to select all the filled in colored spots and the outside and invert it, so it's just selecting all the line work and all that extra that didn't get selected before, so all the white and slightly grayish stuff gets selected. Then you can go over it with a black paintbrush, and it just fills all that in. It makes it a solid line. But I had a lot of issue. I'm doing a lot of undos. I can't get things. I'm having a lot of issue with libs. But yeah, I couldn't. I was having issues with that. I couldn't do that with this one, so I have to go through more. See, here I am coloring it in more of a brown because it was trying to select all the line work. Coloring her hair all in different colors, because in theory it should not pick up that black. Even the slightly different tone, it should not pick up the other line colors, but it for some reason was this time, and it just kept fighting with me on it. It wouldn't. I couldn't get it to chill out. I can do the other sections pretty well, so I could go through and select everything for those sections and do my paintbrush that way. But I just had to be careful what I was getting. But then I ran into the step of I started paintbrushing, then I realized I forget something. Like there, I missed a few sections. And since I have multiple tones in the hair and stuff, it kept in the elephant shrew's hair. Yeah, see, it keeps picking up different tones. And there it goes crooked. There it goes. I'm just like, nothing was fixing it. I'm like, I'm fighting with it. I'm so mad at this thing. My line work, I killed it right there. And I picked back up. This is a different day now. It made me so mad. I was so late. And I was so tired. Okay, now we're cleaning. I'm like erasing everything. All the hair. I'm like, okay, maybe something's wrong with that coloring. So I'm erasing it all out. I'm thinking, I must be thinking. There I go, I'm cleaning up the eyes. Sometimes when it goes still like that for a few moments, I'm looking up something about Krita, because that's the program I use for this, as you can tell by the video. Sometimes I look up Krita suggestions. So here's take 2. We're trying to get them all, or take whatever. Trying to get everything, all the line work. See, I've got a lot of the base color already in. Or what? About halfway through this, I fight so much with this line work, which I've never had this much trouble. Hopefully this next prompt is not that much trouble. I think it also messed me up because I didn't do my layers well this time. I really should have. I didn't stack my layers well. Here I am having to go through and kind of manually do all the lines actually. There's certain sections at least. Some sections I want to say later I can. Yeah, bigger sections are a little bit better, but little sections here I had to be careful. I just decided to just do the whole brown section on him there and not care, since I have to do it by hand anyway. Now her eyes look dirty. Clean up and select all these eyes, eyelash parts, and her eyebrow. So much cleanup work for this one. I do kind of wish it turned out a little hair better than what it does in the end, but at that point I'm just so tired and frustrated with it, how much I've fought with it. I like the idea of it though. Maybe here I go accidentally rotating the thing again. And I'm like, no, don't rotate my canvas. But I think I was hitting, I was hitting Alt maybe instead of spacebar, which is what I used to move it, but I'm like, drat, there's still white lines. Alright, time for cleanup edges. I think I just straight painting it. I'm not even selecting it at this point. Alright. Just get these speckled dots out. Gosh. It is looking much nicer though, a little tidier. Found that a few spots hadn't taken. I'm coloring them. Oh, okay, there we go. So, what am I gonna do now? Let's see here. I'm recoloring her shoe because it got all discolored. Just using the shape my line tool to do it. Alright, it looks like I'm going in for shading. But this I select each area. That way I don't get the other colors messed up. And I just hand paint it. Hopefully at some point in the future I'll get like a drawing tablet of some sort. It'll make it look even smoother. Making a little bit of shadowing. We're just doing light shadows. We're not, especially with this one. I was too frustrated at this point. I'm giving it shadows, but I'm not being crazy. I'm hoping with this next one. I have an idea for this next one. I'm hoping to be able to do a little bit better on the shadowing and the highlights. So we'll see how that goes. Still trying to clean up all that brown work that was supposed to be on the elephant. I keep wanting to call it gerbil, but the elephant shrew. Coloring his ear, around his ears here. Originally, I really wanted to do some nice stuff in his eyes, but yeah, not working. I do like the multiple colors I put onto his fur there. I think that helps him a lot. Still more shading. Still more and more, lots more to go. But then it'll mostly be done. I'll do a little background for this too. Gotta get a, oh, I gotta clear all that. Yeah. I'm like, oh wait, shadows were going the wrong way there for a second. It was a fun art prompt for sure. It was interesting. It was something I probably would not have done on my own. So I do like the challenge that it gave. I don't know if I'd revisit this type of challenge again, maybe at some point in the future. Here I am giving her highlights in her hair. I'm like, I'm not shading this thing. It needs to be lighter, if anything. But we'll see. We'll see where her lips are so chunky there. It'd be nice to try to smooth those out a little bit better, but oh well. You saw how much it frustrated me. So I'm hoping you like this next art prompt in a month. It'll be a lot of fun, I think. It's definitely a little different style. Well, my style is still the same, but it's a little bit different theme than I typically do. A little darker. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Not done yet, so. I know. It's May. My April prompt is late, but it's okay. I like her little red cape. She kind of makes me think of Little Red Riding Hood also, but on a shrew. That would be interesting. I think we're getting closer to the end. We're getting there. So we're just doing a lot of the last little bit of details. And there'll be a background to do. That one was just straight up odd. I don't know why it was not letting me select the brown. It was really strange. But at this point, I really was just tired of this prompt. Not the prompt itself, but this image itself. It had so frustrated me. I hope I never have a problem like this one gave me. I still haven't gone and done the eyes. I know I go and do those. I do a little bit of something at least in the eyes. Get the buckles. Oh, the tail, that's important. Gotta get his tail. Get a little more darker mouth here. Yep. Kind of try to lighten up some of his legs. It's just black and lost in there. Going back to the hood, give her some highlights. I still have not messed with its eye yet. Oh, I'm doing highlights now, so yeah, there's probably gonna look a little bit better once I get its highlight into. Get a bit of a light blue highlight. Even though it could easily have more depth, I think it definitely helps and it looks so nice just to have that even little bit. I was doing that, I'm like, why am I doing it so small? And I made that paintbrush so much bigger. I do like how it's turning out a bit though. Highlights here and there. It highlighted his nose, all of that section, not by color. So I just have to be careful not to hit each of the colors. Okay, here we go. Eyeball. Trying not to do too much because he has a very dark eye, but hey, look, we got some color on the saddle. Oh, here I go. I'm onto the background now. I'm like, it's extremely basic because I am so late with this prompt at this point and it was being so frustrating. I just wanted it done. So I'm like, I need to throw something back there so you can tell that she's not just a little person on this, that she's not like a Thumbelina, that it's a big animal. So here I am trying to make a quick desert. It was really fun to try to make the desert, but at the same point, I was just done with this prompt. I'm like, okay, using different types of paintbrushes. I never get to play with the paintbrushes, so it was really fun. Trying to figure out how to make different sand textures. So, just kind of playing here. Make him kind of up and about. I'm like, hey, some sand needs to be on top of her, though. So, that's what I did. I might go too much, I'm not sure. I was trying to get like a brush for different sky textures. I think like cloud textures is what I'm gonna do. I want wispy clouds, I want to say. I don't know how much clouds are in the desert with it being so hot and dry. I'm just playing around and most of them I'm not liking. I'm just like, well, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Okay, I went with this one. Kind of white and gray wispies. Kind of more wind effect, I guess, with the sand, you'd say. Here I am. I'm saving it. I'm done. Alright, hope you've enjoyed this prompt. If you have, please like, subscribe, and check out next week for our newest series. I believe it's going to be a persona of some sort. I'm not sure if it's going to be 4 or 5 yet, though. So I will see you all later. Please enjoy. Bye-bye.